city. Please be with us tonight as we try to make the best decisions we can for our citizens of the town of Boonville. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Venable,
Here.
Dorman. Here. Stock.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Meadows. Here. Bozarth.
Here.
Hurt.
Here.
Carter.
Ladies. We have a presentation to give to the crowd. And before I read what the plaque says, this is the plaque. I'll make a quick commentary. Dick was my name. And he and I served on a bunch of committees inside the city, pretty much along the same time. And good man. The funnest thing is if I happen to be by the mailbox when we come up, we have to have a conversation. Is this picking up, do you think?
You have to put it up.
Okay, I gotta hold it. We'd have to have a conversation. And as some of you know, when we have a conversation, we have to talk about stuff. He was always asking me, what do you think about these crazy millennials? So we'd talk a bit about what was going crazy with the millennials. And then I'd look at him and I'd say, Dick, you and I are boomers. Weren't we a little bit crazy too? And he'd admit it, but he'd still have to say, but the millennials are worse. Good man, very good. This is from the city of Boonville. In loving memory of Richard E. Dick Casanova, who faithfully served the city of Boonville with unwavering dedication for over 45 years. We are forever grateful for your wisdom and guidance. You will be greatly missed. September 3rd of 2019. Got it?
I think I got 3. I don't know.
Gary?
As hopefully most of you are aware, Mark Wild has moved on. He resigned about a month ago. He had just lost his mother and he wanted to move back to Iowa to live with his father. So we wish Mark, he did a good job. But many years I've been doing it, I found out good things don't last forever. You have to start over and produce another good local manager. So Alliance always advertise for openings within the company first before we go outside. And I had 3 inquiries within our organization, and I always interview those first. And I ran into a guy several years ago that worked for us in Boonville, and it was Russell Gerling. And the funny story was you guys started him in the water and wastewater field. The city hired him. So thank you for hiring him, because he got the inspiration to stay in that field. He then went to DNR and worked for DNR for a while, and then we hired him as an operator at the water plant. The funny little story was I try to look down the field, and I want to build people up to be local managers, because we want them experienced, we want them to have a license, we want them to have experience with councils and boards and that type of stuff. And one of the other DMs, we'd got Ashland, the city of Ashland, and he was kind of struggling finding a person. And I said, look, I said, you need to call Russell over there. I said, he's got ambition, he wants to learn, I think he'd do a good job. Well, he did. Well, he took an operator from Boonville, and he went down as a local manager in Ashland. Well, what I'd always always liked to do is, I knew one of these days we're gonna have a local manager somewhere. And in that year down at Ashland, he went through our supervisory courses, management courses, he understands the budgets and this and that. And then when Mark decided to move on, then he was one that applied. And he passed my interview. And I offered him the job and he accepted it. Well, come to find out, he knows more people in Boonville than I think I know all over the state. So, starting today, he's the local manager for here. He knows the plan. We've already had our discussions, what needs to be addressed and this and that, talk to the employees to get all their input, except some of you probably remember Willie. Willie retired last Thursday. A month ago, he told me he wants to spend more time with his wife, but I think he was just trying to be nice, if you know Willie. Now he's got a honey-do list about that long, he said. I said, well, why don't you come back to work and then you won't have to do that honey list. He says, I've done that for the last 5 years. I can't do it anymore. But anyway, I'll quit talking. And this is Russell, and he's part of the community, gonna stay part of the community. But he is responsible for your drinking water now. So if you guys have questions, concerns, this is a guy to talk to. And if you can't get a hold of him or his answer's not good enough, call me anytime. It's Russell.
Thank you, Gary. Any questions from anybody?
Oh, congratulations, Russ.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Glad to be
welcome.
back. Glad to be back in Boonville.
Yeah.
Ashland's a fine town. They're growing, and it's exciting what's going on in Ashland. But they're doing well, and just glad to come back. Have the opportunity to come back.
Good for you.
So,
I would just like to add that Russell probably is related to more people than you know in the state.
Maybe I don't want to.
yeah.
That's good.
Well, good, because I hope his relatives expect high expectations.
They do.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russell.
Any other public comments? Approval of the minutes of the August 2019 council meeting. Any changes or corrections? And they will stand as submitted. Thank you. Consent items. Consider pay request number 1 from Concrete Solutions LLC in the amount of $87,323.85 for Crone Street curb and gutter improvements phase 3. Is there a motion? Yes, go.
I move this be approved.
All right. Second? Second. Thanks, Mike. All right, any questions or comments? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Bozarth,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Item 6, presentation of accounts and claims on page 9.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on September 3rd, 2019, the sum of $1,509,496.80. General fund, $214,175.48. Sanitation, $19,722.52. CIP tax, $6,716.39. Waterworks, $120,010.16. Capital projects, $1,075,599.30. Wastewater, $52,007.44. Tourism, $3,793.98. Gaming, $10,052.17. Parks and Water, $7,419.36. Section 2. The accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $1,509,496.80, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3. This ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage First reading on September 3rd, 2019, read for the second time this third day of September 2019, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Second reading title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Thank you, Whitney. Is there a second? I'll second. Thank you, Steve. Any questions? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman. Yes. Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Bozarth,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Item 7, unfinished business. Item A, second reading of bill number 2019-029, authorizing appointment of new city administrator upon retirement of the current city administrator.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing the appointment of Kate Field to perform the duties of city administrator for an indefinite period, temporarily suspending the residency requirement of Section 2-50 of the Code of General Ordinances, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Motion?
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Okay, got a second? Second, Mike? Questions or comments? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Bozarth,
No.
Hurt,
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you all. Kate, congratulations. Item 8, new business. First reading of bill number 2019-030, amending chapter 10 of the Code of General Ordinances regarding residing requirements for tourism commission.
an ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending Chapter 10, Article 8, Section 10-203 of the Boonville Code of General Ordinances, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Item B, accept a bid for roofing project at Academic Hall. And Kate, would you come up and tell us what's happening?
Yeah, originally in our packet on page 12, we recommended the low bidder of Kevin Caldwell, or Caldwell Roofing. He called Steve about 1:30 today and pulled his bid. So he said he's too behind on his existing work, so he can't get to it. Given that, my recommendation is to go with the next low bidder, which would be GNR Construction out of Tipton, Missouri. Their bid was $33,648.
Is there a motion to accept the bid?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Brent, appreciate it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Steve. Questions?
I guess Keith wouldn't, or Kevin wouldn't give us a timeline on, he just didn't wanna, he just wanted to pull it.
He just said,
Yep.
when I talked to him today, he just told me that he was 40-some roofs behind, and he said that he would rather not, if he was to get this bid, that, he didn't know when he was gonna get to it, and he knows there's kind of a sense of urgency, with this building right here, so that's all I can tell you.
Well, I was just,
So,
for a little bit of time, for 10 or 15%.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at in the difference,
Yeah.
so, just
So,
curious.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
What would happen if we get another rain?
I'm
Big-
sorry.
What would happen down there if we got another big rain?
Another big rain's gonna, right now, you've got all the ceilings on the west side of the building they've all caved in, cause that's where the biggest damage on that roof is. There's a big tear in that roof. And it's beyond patching, cause you got the big tear, you've got tear in all the corners, and then you've got a couple other small places that are torn. So right now, yes, it's just gonna continue to rain as hard inside as it is outside. I'll just put it that way, so.
Thanks, Steve. Any other questions for Steve or
So I'm
Kate?
guessing GNR can get.
GNR come through, so the remaining bids that you see, two of the bids that are on here was roofers that I've had experience with before. GNR and this SLV Roofing, they actually came through the recommendation of Septagon Construction, and I think both of them have done work for us in the past. So anyway, and when you compare the bids, they've all got the same, mill as far as the roofing material. same insulation, everything like that. It's a Firestone product. When I talked to GNR again today, it's a Firestone product that they use. It's a 20-year warranty is what it's gonna come with, so, but.
Good. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else?
So they can get to it right away?
I think so. When the guy came down originally to bid on it, to take a look at it, measure it up, he talked like they was a few weeks behind right now, but he said they was catching up pretty quick, so. So I can't answer that for you exactly when they can get to it, but he did say that he thought he could get to it fairly quickly if it was awarded, so.
Anybody else?
I
Any
guess,
other comments?
I noticed that on none of these bids, any decking was included in the bid.
There isn't, the area that the big tear is in, although that roof has been ripped back and has gotten some weather to it, that decking is still even being exposed to the weather. It's
Still
it's
pretty
an old
good shape.
building, it's all 1x12 stuff up there, so it's the old original full 1x12 stuff. And so it's all in pretty good shape, so with the assumption of what the weathered part looks like, that it's been getting the weather, the stuff that's still protected, should be in pretty good shape. There may be some minor patching here and there, but it's not like they're gonna have to redeck the whole thing, so.
Anybody else? Roll call?
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Bozarth,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
All right, thank you. Reports of standing committees, Housing Authority, you see the minutes in the packet. As usual, they're thorough and detailed. Item B, Historic Preservation Commission. Susan?
I was not at that meeting, but they met apparently on August 15th, and the minutes are in the packet.
Reports of city officials, city administrator.
Yes, with the passage of the sales tax, the library's kind of anxious to try to get their little piece of the pie, although that wasn't the main focus of the sales tax. There's a little bit of it, but there's a lot of stuff that's non-revenue related, shall we say, and they're interested in starting some of their work, which involves spending some of their money on the building, or some studies on spatial layouts and so forth, but they thought it would be useful, and I think I agree with them, that everybody kind of get together again and be sure everybody's on the same page, and I think we'll have Doug come to a meeting, and so we can begin to memorialize some of this stuff in writing, so everybody knows what they're getting into. And so I'm thinking about doing a little work session prior to the next council meeting. So on the 16th at 6 o'clock, and they're gonna bring several of their representatives, I believe, and all of you that can make it. I think it would be good for everybody to be sitting around and hearing the same thing. And then we won't take any formal action necessarily, but we'll know where we're going and what we gotta do, in terms of agreements, and probably have to get a legal description and things like that. So it's, anybody can make it to at 6 o'clock on the 16th, please come. I think you'll get a pretty good picture of what's going on with that piece of the pie. You may have noticed we've started ever so little bit on the K-barracks, stripping out the inside and beginning to knock out some windows. Fence is going up tomorrow, so you'll no longer be able to go from north to south through the grounds.
Me?
I do.
I think I'm the only person who needs.
Do what?
Cut through there, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good exercise to go around.
She'll have to
In the
figure
car.
that out then.
I
Any other questions? Just had one quick comment on that. What we did initially was we did basically a letter of agreement. You all saw that. It does not have the detail that goes behind that, and that's what the library is interested in developing so that they can begin to do their investment inside of the building. So if you can grab the time to come and listen, I think it'd be good. Anything else?
No.
Okay, I have two things. A, we have a committee appointment approval to be done tonight. And the gentleman is here, whom we're going to approve again. Right, Joe? Joe Novi has volunteered for the Board of Public Works. Can I have a motion to approve him? Thanks, Vanessa. Thanks, Susan, for the second. Any questions? Any comments about Joe? Okay, none. Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Thorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Bozarth,
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Okay, number two is essentially a report. Brent asked about two things in the meeting last week about the bridge. Brent, the meeting did not establish any kind of schedules. It established that the engineers are in control. And they've done the concept, but they haven't done the detail that goes behind it. So as that detail is created and approved, then they start doing the bids. And they are doing, they are gonna focus on local, making sure that the local contractors have access to these bids and have a chance at it, which I think was pretty critical, and probably the reason that you were asking is that, you know, our truck drivers and, you know, our workers need to have a shot at it. Does that answer it for now?
Yeah, I mean, I was just, from the initial things, when they said, when they let the bids, from the initial stuff we got, then we were supposed to pay $100,000 a month before they let the bid. Now that, who knows when that's gonna be yet, so.
Okay, the 100,000 is one payment,
Right,
right?
Right, he said a month before.
the month before the,
Right. Yeah,
they
so
let
we'll,
the bids.
and they can create anything they want to achieve the month before. I think we all recognize that.
I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff, yeah, there's a whole lot of studies and things are gonna have to be done, and
Yep.
land purchased and everything else before they get into anywhere close to a bid letting, so.
And a good point on the land purchase. There's
yeah.
a bucket full of land that they're gonna
Yeah.
have to get. And you gotta imagine that there's a few names out there on those titles.
Yeah, the price of their land just went up, I'm sure.
What a surprise.
Of course, we can always use eminent domain and just take it, so.
There you go. Uh-huh. Okay, I don't have anything else. City clerk?
I don't have anything tonight.
Kate, I should have asked you since you just got elected. Do you have anything?
In case you guys didn't see it in the paper, just a reminder that September 10th through the 13th, Main Street Hill is going to be closed again for us to finish up the repairs. Just a note, we're going to have the two highway signs, those message board signs that you see, one out by Walmart and then one somewhere downtown that I think we have space.
Yeah, the 800 block of Main Street and by Orschman's on, northbound's by Orschman's, southbound's the 800 block of Main Street.
One of the big differences between this closure and the last one, other than the length of time, is that we're gonna do, the north side of Poplar will be a no parking, and then either side of Sixth Street will be no parking also. So most of the affected homes have alleys in the back or driveways, so they should be able to get through and be able to get to their places. And then we can also park on South Street. Obviously can't go to Main Street, but they can go down to Sixth. So we'll get that, that's gonna go out in the paper and it'll go on the radio again probably, but just so you guys are aware.
Good, thank you. Any questions for Kate? Any miscellaneous tonight?
I've got one thing, Mayor.
Go for it, Brett.
I was just kind of curious, we visited this in June, I'm just kind of curious where we're at on the soccer field agreements between the school and soccer academy and the city, and we were supposed to revisit this in July, and that hasn't happened.
Yeah, so in between when I came to you guys and today, I've been to council twice, or not to council, but to the school board twice. And they, had some changes they wanted to make that were fairly small. We met with Fred Smith and Charlie Melkersman and kind of hammered out some of the stuff. They wanted a process by which we could, if we had any disagreements with BSA, that we could do kind of like a mediation type thing. So we put that in there. And then the last time, I think they wanted some tighter legal descriptions. So the last time I inquired, they had Mandy doing some sort of legal work for them, or legal descriptions. So after the second school board meeting, I just told them when they were ready that I would bring it back to you guys for review, but I think they aren't ready yet, so. The BSA agreement, on the other hand, I mean, I don't foresee there being any significant changes on that side.
Oh, so we haven't given the $10,000 out for the.
No,
After
I
this
mean, it's
board?
at some level, it's gonna start fairly soon. The BSA has brought on Gary Nauman to manage the park, do the lawn mowing and those sort of things. So they are gonna probably start invoicing us to some degree to cover those costs. But, when Doug was reviewing the agreements, it was his recommendation that the school board was a signatory on the agreement between BSA and us, so it's caught in that whole
Right.
hold.
Who is the person that's the head of the BSA?
Jimmy Barbarotta is the, I think he's the league director, and then Stacy Wessing is the club president. And the BSA has seen all the agreements as well, and they're fine at this point. I'm just waiting for the school to finalize their details.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Motion to adjourn? So moved. Thank you, Steve. Second? Okay, and everybody vote by standing up and leaving.